For the first time ever in AM whiskey history, Mark ain't got none. And Aaron still got some. Aaron still got some.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode, the first new bottle review of the year of AM Whiskey. I'm Aaron, this is Mark, and this is the new Penelope Wheated Bourbon.
Wheated bourbon?
Wheated Bourbon, new release. It is a 4 grain. I think a lot of the Penelopes are 4 grains. Comes in at about $40, so
That's pretty affordable.
pretty reasonably priced.
The bottle cork. Let's listen. Oh, he got a winner. He's gotten better. He must have been practicing. You were practicing during
It's 2025. It's the year of the Aaron bottle pop. We've been popping bottles.
Popping bottles, he says. Well, this is a fresh crack. I've seen this quite a few different places this last week. At $40, I think is a good number.
Yeah, $40. Not too bad. It's always nice when it's only 93 proof, so it's a lower proof. But for $40.
Are you sure it's 93 proof?
No. It says 95 proof. I need to get my glasses checked.
It's quite all right.
Fives, threes.
Close enough.
They look the same.
If this was Mad Madness, he'd get 2 to 3 points.
Yeah.
Not 5.
I didn't see Matt Madness this year.
I didn't see Mad Madness in 2024 either.
I don't know what Porter's doing over there.
Nice golden
Slack.
hue. Nice golden hue to it.
It does have a nice, even just having ported, it smells pretty good.
It does have a nice, nice fragrant nose. Kind of on the light side, but good.
It's lighter, but I'm getting like honeys, like golden raisins.
Yeah. It's got a sweet nose to it.
There is a mustiness to it, though, too,
Little
that I think maybe
titch.
the wheat is bringing out.
Does it say on the bottle, what's the mash bill at all?
Nope. It says Penelope Wheated Bourbon embodies our commitment to craftsmanship and versatility with rich sweetness and a hint of spice. It offers a taste for all tastes, whether you're sipping it neat or mixing it into a cocktail. Blended as a cornerstone of our collection, Penelope Wheated delivers an unforgettable bourbon experience. I'm sure we can find the mash bill and we'll put it on the screen. Let everybody know.
It is definitely honey and sweet forward. Honey and sweet forward. It rides into the mid palate. Mid palate's got this is the first sip of the day. It got a little, I would say 2 ticks of spice. And it's a rye spice. It's got some complexity in the rye. There's a pepper and something else. And it's drifting off my palate. It probably was on my palate for a good 15, 20 count.
I get a honeydew melon up there, but then, there is a peppery spice that gets there. Rides to the middle back of the palate for me. Interesting.
So now in the second sip.
That was not as sweet as I expected.
Second sip, the sweet lasted longer. Spice died down. But it was more, not a pepper. It was, I don't know what the right spice is, like a baking spice or something. It wasn't.
It tastes
It was
young.
different. It does, but it's not edgy. I don't find it edgy.
It's not too edgy. There was much more sweetness on that. But again, I'm going right to pepper. It's giving me pepper vibes when it hits the middle to the back
It
palate.
gives you pepper?
Yeah.
It's
not bad.
You are the spice expert.
Then it leans towards a kind of a caramel apple type thing towards the back of the palate.
Now see, that time I got
When it hits-
a little caramel apple, yep.
Down here, not a bad pour. And for $40, I could see this. It's not as soft as some of the other wheaters. Like if you're looking for something that's gonna be like a Weller or maybe like the Green River wheated bourbon, this is a different animal to me. It drinks spicier. There's a little bit more of that kind of pepper kick to me.
Yeah, it's a little spicier, a little more pepper. Not as much funk. I'm not getting much funk. I mean, it's like Weller and the other ones, they get a little bit of funk. I mean, Sweet Wheat has got a ton of funk, right? Sweet Wheat, 1792 Sweet Wheat, that's like Funkalicious, right?
Yeah.
This is low funk.
For $40, this is not bad at all.
No.
There's a, and I will say that every time I keep going back to it, I am getting a little bit something different, which is nice. That's something I don't generally expect from a $40 bottle of whiskey. So from that perspective, it's pretty good. It's
real easy drinking.
Yeah, it's just not my preferred profile. I like a darker, richer
I don't think
bourbon.
And I don't think it has enough oomph to stand up in a cocktail. Like I wouldn't see it as a cocktail. You think so?
I disagree. I think this has got a nice little bit of oomph and good amount of flavor here. I think in the right cocktail, it would be all right. It's not going to add a ton of flavor to your cocktail, but I don't think it'll also get drowned out, depending on what cocktail you're looking at making. Yeah. I'm not a huge cocktail guy, so I
think it would work well if you're the type of person that likes using Buffalo Trace for your cocktail, or I
think this has a little more heft than a Buffalo Trace, and it's also got a spicier content to it, so it'll be like in a old fashioned where you're adding a lot more of that sweeter element. I think this would play nice.
Yeah. And seeing, I like old fashions that are like spice based, right? Because of all the sweet that you're adding to it, right? They're trying to complement it. But that's me.
But I will say, for a $40 bottle of whiskey, this is
drinkable,
very good.
I'm having a problem scoring it.
I am getting more, it's getting more enjoyable as I go back to it. It's changing a little bit. Again, not my preferred flavor profile. Is this something that I'm going to go back to often? No, but
it'll kill it. It's totally. It's
crushable. Yeah,
for 95 proof, this drink's probably easier than 95.
To me, this is better than your average whiskey. It's not really good. It's not exceptional. It's certainly not. I'm looking at a 6.4. 6.4. It's better than average. For $40, I think this is, in the $40 range. To get above a 6, I think you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. With that. I'm going to go 6.2.
6.2?
6.2. It's in the average range. For the $40, is there a different bottle you might consider buying over this?
Well, that's what I was just thinking about. Is, would it...
So $40 range, I might prefer Russell's 10 over it.
Yeah, but again, Russell's is a whole different animal. I'm thinking, I would look at the Green River Wheated as an alternative to this that'll give you that softer profile, little bit cheaper, probably doesn't have as much character to this, but is going to be a little easier to drink, a little softer, your classic wheated bourbon. I think this might...
well, this is a 4 grain, right?
It is a 4 grain, but it's kind of being touted as a wheated 4 grain. I think all the Penelope is 4 grain. Again, I think the rye on here is actually probably fairly decent, but the malted barley is probably fairly down. But the wheat is going to be the highest secondary grain in here. And I think that plays out, though, because it does have that more spice than you're going to get in maybe your Maker's Mark. This might be closer to the Maker's 46.
I would agree. 46. Yeah.
So I think that might be the more comparable thing to it. But to be honest, I think I might prefer the Maker's 46 to this.
I think so too. I think the 46. Well, this is more honey, melony. 46 is more traditional caramel with spice.
Yeah.
Right. So there's
it leans more towards my palates. I like those darker caramels, and I like the wood spice where the honey and the softer notes to me just don't lean towards what I prefer. So for me, I think I would rather have a Maker's 46, but for $40, it's a good buy and well worth your money.
I concur.
So thank you for watching this review of the Penelope Weeded 4-grain bourbon. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have you had the Penelope Weeded? Are you a Penelope fan?
MGP Ross and Squibb bought the label
back. They've now got some access, and some of their higher end offerings have been the estate collection. Fantastic. And I think we're going to start seeing more just really good products coming out of them. Havana just came out, which I have absolutely no interest in whatsoever. It's rum and amberana finish. No thank you. Boy. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave some comments. Tell us if you like Penelope.
Tell us if you want to see Havana.
Tell us how much you enjoy amberana. Until then, keep the whiskey flowing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.